Well, it may not be April or May, but it is an exciting day at the Nassau Coliseum. A little bit more than just a regular NHL game in the month of November. It is an Islander-Ranger game at the Nassau Coliseum. You know all about the streaks, how the Rangers haven't won here in 14, yet this season have a 14-game undefeated streak going. So enough about that. Let's get to a couple of the key guys today. Asa Tikkanen, who came over from the Edmonton Oilers in a trade last March 17th, has provided 25 points and 3 game-winning goals, and has been tough in that Ranger lineup. Today, he'll face Ron Hextall in the Islander goal. Hextall played all 4 road games in which the Islanders went undefeated, gave up only 8 goals against while facing 136 shots. This, by the way, is the first of 5 meetings this season between the Islanders and the Rangers. 3 of those games to be played in this building, the first of which gets underway in about a half hour's time. There's a pool going on out in the press room amongst the writers and journalists here today as to the game when Richter gets the hook and Healy goes in. Well, that's a little play on Mike Keenan's way of doing things, but you never know. Point number 3 in Ed's matchup, key things to watch for today, says no match. No matchup at all?
The matchup is a no match, Jakes, and the reason for that is it's not that one team is so much better than the other, one's going to win, so on. It's no match because Al Arbour's not going to match the line. I think when you look at the Rangers, they've got 3 very solid lines. The Islanders, they feel that there are at least 2, maybe a partial one, but I don't think that Al Arbour's going to be concerned with about getting, say, Travis Green, as we would normally think of, about against Mark Messier.
I guess maybe one of the other areas would be the fact that the Rangers this season haven't had a major injury problem to this stage of the season. The Islanders have nursed some things through, and now, of course, are without Sladlois out for the rest of the year. So there's a major difference there because the Rangers get to scratch. The Islanders are saying, anybody able to play? Anybody able to go today?
No, it's exactly right. They go around on the bicycles in the rooms there where they're working out. See, how do you feel? Can you make it tonight? But I think, in fairness, the Islanders will miss a player like Uwe Krupp in this kind of a hockey game. He loves to play in the big games, and he's always been a factor.
That'll do it for the pregame show. Coming up, the New York Islanders and the New York Rangers.
The question of the day: what happens when 2 streaks collide? For the last month, the New York Rangers have been the hottest team in the NHL, going 14 straight without a loss. But 14 is a significant number for the Rangers in another way as they head into today's game with the New York Islanders at the Nassau Coliseum, where they have not won in 14 straight. After struggling through much of the early season, the Islanders have finally found a way to start a positive streak of their own. On their recent 4-game road trip, the Islanders were almost perfect, winning 3 and tying 1, and they come home to the Nassau Coliseum today looking to extend their streak and knock off their arch rival. It's the Rangers and the Islanders in their first meeting of the season, up next on Sports Channel. Welcome to our coverage of the 7th game of the Stanley Cup Final. Well, it just seems that way, folks, because of all the hype that's been going around when the Islanders and the Rangers get together. Today, actually, is the 137th regular season meeting between these 2 teams, and it'll take place at the Nassau Veterans Memorial Coliseum. The overall record between the 2 teams favors the Rangers. I think everybody knows about the streak, the hot spot in the schedule that the Rangers are on right now. And some of the people around the Rangers will tell you, well, wait a little bit. Next week, even a tougher part of the schedule. We'll see if the streak can get out of here alive.
Jigs, you throw out all of the records, all of the paperwork, because when the Rangers and the Islanders play, you just can't nail it down. You can't say that this is going to happen or this is going to happen. The only thing you can say is that the Islanders hold a strangle on this particular ice surface right now, but all the rest of it doesn't matter.
Well, here's where the streak ends. That's our point with the stories dealing with the New York Rangers. Number 1, of course, that one of the streaks will end today, barring a tie. I realize the game could end in a tie, but the Rangers, 14 without a victory here. And on this season, 14 without a loss. Something's got to give today, barring a tie. The Richter scale. This building will be rocking. Will it do anything to the graph? Or how about Richter? 10-0-2 in his recent outings. And the Rangers up when down. And we're talking about their penalty killing unit when they're 4 on 5 or 3 against the other team's 4. They've scored a league-high 11 shorthanded goals. A season ago, they had 12 all year long, and the most by any team last year was 21 by Quebec, so they're in great shape there.
They are, Jigs, and you know, that does take away from the team's power play. In this case, it would be the Islanders. They're operating in 3rd place and doing a wonderful job on the power play. They can't let that bother them. But what's going to dictate that, of course, is the number of penalties that are handed out on the Rangers.
And that'll be an interesting aspect to watch today as well. Replacement officials working this game between the Islanders and the Rangers. The Islanders are on their way from the dressing room. It's like Stanley Cup fever around here this afternoon as the spotlight is in place. And the crowd is standing to applaud the team as it's returned from that 4-game road trip. But this is where it begins. Their story has to happen here. Home improvement. In 8 home games, 2 wins and a tie. There were only a game over 500 on home ice last year. So it's a fixer-upper because 8 of their next 9 games are at home and 4 of them against teams with less than 500 records. The Rangers aren't in that category, are they? And how do they go about plugging the holes since we've been doing this whole home improvement thing? Rod Loisel, as you know, lost for the season, blew out a knee the other night. Brent Grieve is up from the Salt Lake Eagles, and he will play in this hockey game. David Bollock has returned from Europe after his father's funeral. He will not play. Pilon, Croup, Delgarno, McBean all out of the lineup as well.
Well, a lot of us have learned, being around Long Island, Jigs, you go to see Ken Langone at Home Depot, and that's where you get all of the stuff for home improvement and plugging the holes, because he knows how to get it done, and his people will do it. The Islanders have to establish themselves on their home rink.
You'll be ready for the opening face-off. First of 5 between the Islanders and the Rangers. 3 of them in this building. The puck will drop in just a moment. Now from the Coliseum, Meineke Muffler presents our goaltending matchup.
Mike Richter was born in Abington, Pennsylvania. The 27-year-old puck stopper with renewed confidence from last year. 10-4-2 with a 2.64 goals against average.
Hextall's numbers for this season for the New York Islanders and for Meineke. Career record of 11 wins, 12 losses, and 2 ties when facing the Rangers, either in a Philadelphia Flyer uniform or a Quebec Nordique uniform. Today's game to be refereed by Tom Monahan. Mark Kadori and Scott Adams will work the lines. Monahan, born in Camden, New York. Kadori from Woodmere, New York, born there anyway. And the other official, Scott Adams, born in Philadelphia. Replacement officials get to work. One of the great rivalries of the NHL. I'll admit, I've said to many that even the NHL's best have difficulty handling one of these games. We'll see how they work today. Turgeon and Messier on that draw, and this is Brian Leach handling the puck for the Rangers. What a difference it's made to have Leach back. Dumps it in from center, right on. Hextall moves it out. Steve Thomas, who has come out on a quick change for the Islanders, feeds the left side for Dennis Fasky. Back to the play. Messier has taken Thomas down. Released him. Hogue takes the man. The puck goes to Molotov at the point. His shot was blocked. Fasky will pick it up in center ice. As Fasky draws a hit from Messier. Then Hogue is pumped by Graves. Molotov at the line. Shoots, pad save. Turgeon with the rebound. Can't bang it in from a sharp angle. Fasky steps for the puck. Goes out to center. There's Thomas battling Messier. Goes to the Ranger blue line. Bodies flying all over the place. The boys have come to hit.
They have, Jigs, and that'll make for a better hockey game as long as they'll keep the sticks down.
We played a minute of the opening period. Hook-a-boom with a long pass off the boards. The Rangers in the middle of a change, and Joe Day dumps the puck in for the Islanders. Day is working with Flatley and Travis Green. The takedown back to the net. No call as Pickenin hit the deck. Flatley cross-ice pass comes outside the Ranger line, and Lachance leaves it on the boards for Green. Travis Green backhands it into the Ranger zone. Flatley and Pickenin have the lumber all over one another on the other side of the ice. Now Flatley goes into forecheck. Centers it in front to Green. He scores!
If the Islanders were worried about which way this crowd was going to go, they have answered their own question. They've hit. Look at this for an opening hit on this valley. They changed on the fly. Travis Green in front of the net, left all alone, and he just dropped it into the top of the net. Beautiful backhand pass. Green took it in an awkward position and shoveled it into the top of the net. So that gets the crowd in behind the Islanders. wait and see.
Glenn Healy is still on the end of the bench. I just had to mention that. The speculation in the press room today as to when Richter would be pulled in favor of Healy. Well, at the 125 mark, as Ed pointed out, the hit by Flatley. Tikkanen had a little complaint with the referee following the goal, but nothing any prolonged nature. Kasparaitis up the left side with a pass to King. He got bumped, but there's Turgeon feeding it out of the zone. Gardner hustles back to the New York Rangers. Plays the puck in deeper to Kevin Lowe. Lowe up off the boards, through everybody, all the way down into the Islander end. Kasparaitis will put a stick on it. And an icing call against the New York Rangers. And there is Glenn Healy. Still spends a lot of time visiting here on Long Island. Comes over for dinner now and then at a couple of his favorite restaurants, and of course visit with Flatley. Do some shopping too. Nothing like the Roosevelt flea market, he says.
Well, you know, I'd use that line about, when you think about Keenan, and you and I both know Mike Keenan well enough, but it was Flatley who really, it was Healy who really said what we both think. At least I was thinking at the time, Mike Keenan loves to kind of go around and go against the grain, and it was Mike Keenan that chose Richter for the game when everybody would have normally thought it was going to be Glenn Healy.
Of course, backing up Ron Hextall is Tom Draper in Islander uniform today. Battle here, Keith Acton waiting for Ed Olchuk to get his stick down. Both allowed to stay in the face-off circle, or are they? Now Olchuk is waved out. Will Kocur will come in to take the draw. And for the Islanders, that was Brent Grieve taking the face-off. Acton waved out, obviously. Greg Gilbert put it back to the Ranger net. Olchuk here on the right side clears it out towards center ice, and Scott LaChance brings it right back to the Ranger line. Zone. Now LaChance finds Bakota on right wing. Long shot is steered aside. Bakota after his own rebound. The man coming in from the point, that was Curvers, and he couldn't do anything with it. So the Rangers will dump it in from center ice. Hextall out to play it. Off the boards through center. Some hitting going on back of the play. In fact, a challenge has been issued. It was first Hextall and Kocur. Now Mick Bakota is picked up. Hextall made the gesture, and look at the crowd in front of the Islander net. What we were fearful of took only 2 minutes and 35 seconds to happen. Mark Hextall made a threatening gesture with the stick on Kocur. Kocur, I think, had bumped him. I'm not sure, but the way he turned from the net, it kind of appeared that he had made contact. And Mick Bakota was Johnny on the spot. Take on Kocur.
It was going to happen, Jigs. Mick Bakota went all the way from the center ice line to the Islanders' corner because he felt Kocur had done something to one of the Islanders. That's really where it began.
The replacement officials pull everybody apart here. The Islanders got the early goal. Nassau Coliseum, the update on the Lodell scoreboard. An Islander Ranger game from the Nassau Veterans Memorial Coliseum.
Kind of hoping that we'd have seen a little more of what we were entertained to the first couple of shifts, but maybe this will be the only time we'll have to look at all this.
Well, they sort out everything here. Should say Tom Monahan previously officiated games in the Central Hockey League, the Ontario Hockey Association, the International Hockey League, Quebec Hockey Association, and the Western Hockey League for Canada-U.S. games at the Olympic trials. He is the referee today.
Go back and see how it all began. That was Kocur as he went in, made contact, and the puck is down to our left, and there Joey Kocur and Mick Bakota challenge each other. Well, really not a whole lot of damage done as far as somebody hitting somebody. This was Hextall, and you can see Eddie Olchuk, and that all is going on. Behind to the right, out of the picture, is of course Bakota and Joey Kocur.
Well, first of all, Jiggs, an interesting thing. I was talking to Mike Keenan, and he told me that his two favorite players of all time that he's ever coached were Chris Chelios and then Ron Hextall. He knows Ron Hextall very well. And if you saw, obviously you did see Joey Kosa trying to mess up Hextall. And I think that part of the Rangers' strategy might be to unnerve Hextall. Keith Acton doing a lot of yapping down here, getting particularly Brian Leach very angry. And it's going to be very interesting to see how the game progresses from here. Jiggs, Eddie?
Well, Ron Hextall, I'm not sure whether that's going to be unsettling to him or not. We'll have to wait and see. But in this hockey game so far, the Islanders were out shooting the Rangers 4-1.
Chance, 2 minutes for roughing. Number 24, Keith Acton, a 10-minute misconduct. And number 12, Mick Vukota, 2 minutes for roughing. Time of the penalties, 2:35.
Well, it's interesting that Vukota gets, and I assume Joey Kosa gets 2 minutes each for roughing. I don't know whether that makes them mad or not. In fact, that they tried to throw punches and couldn't. They had each other tied up so well.
So out of this, the Rangers will have a 2-minute power play. That's the additional penalty on Ron Hextall. Don Curvers sits out the penalty called against Hextall. You've got Vukota, Grieve, LaChance, Acton, and Curvers all in a row down in a jam-packed Islander penalty box. Closer, Bookerboom, and Gilbert sit out for the Rangers. It is 5-on-4 favor of the Rangers, and this has been one of their strong points on the season. We'll watch how they set up here. Zubov got them out of the zone. Messier to Gartner, goes to the backhand, centered it right to Marty McGuinness. Gartner battling for control of the puck. To Leach, into Gartner. Checked by McGuinness. The puck to the line. Leach fires. Wide. The rebound. Hextall cut off the short side on Messier. Messier unable to feed the blue line. Turgeon takes the puck. What a job by Molotov tying up Messier. Meantime, Turgeon battles through a couple of Rangers. McGuinness a backhander stopped by Richter. The puck comes out to center ice. Shot back in by Vasky.
Remember I said, Jake, throw out all of the statistics because here are the Islanders with an excellent scoring opportunity shorthanded.
Didn't they, though? Now Zubov finds Leach. He's in across the line. Chased back by Chanel. Leach put it behind the net. Hextall turns it up the boards. Messier is bumped by Hogue. The puck popped loose. And Flatley gets it out of there.
The kind of a hockey game the Islanders would only have to look back at the first 4 minutes of to see how effective hitting can be, not only at equal strength, but here killing a penalty.
Bingo, right on. Aikkonen unable to handle the bouncing puck. Kasparaitis was in his face as well. Now the Rangers regain control at center ice. Here is Steve Larmer. Up the middle, nice pass. Amante breaks in and scores!
30 seconds remaining in the penalty to Hextall. Amante got in behind the Islander defenseman. Beautiful pass. Nice motion by Amante as he packed it in. His 7th goal directly up the middle of the ice. And both Islander defensemen get caught. Watch him quickly handle the puck, shift to the forehand, and inside the goal post, he's tied it at 1 apiece. Third power play goal for Tony Amante.
Finished off right there at the 4:05 mark of this opening period. Well, the game is even, a goal apiece. And the two teams equal strength out on the ice. All with Ferraro and Thomas. Now a whistle and a face-off coming at the Ranger blue line. Rangers countering with Nemchinov in the middle. Gartner's on the right side. And Olchuk is on the left side. Mike Keenan has sent out Kevin Lowe and Sergei Zubov as his defense combination. There's your goal scorer for the New York Rangers.
Tikkanen and Larmer get the assists on his 7th goal of the season.
Rangers have scored a power play goal now in 13 of their last 15 games. At least one in 13 of the last 15. Ron Curvers knocked the puck out of the air at center, then was met by Emchinov, who dumps it in. Hextall guided it to the corner. This is Darius Kasparaitis to Ray Ferraro. Hogue down the left side, accepts the pass. Moves in on Zubov. Got slowed up, got knocked down, taken down, and there's a penalty call coming against the New York Rangers. Game tied 1-1 as we check in with the Modell scoreboard from the Nassau Coliseum.
Sergei Zubov, he gets the penalty. Only the 12th minute in penalty that he's been assessed so far this season. The Islanders get a power play coming here. Good move by Benoit Hogue, cutting back inside. That's what forced him to take the penalty for holding.
Ranger penalty killing, best in the league. The Islanders just ruled that, don't they? Bring it down a little bit. Stevie Thomas, 2-1.
Watch where he puts the puck. Just off the arm on the short side. Look how he comes to the front of the net, and then he put it, much like Pierre Turgeon in the overtime game against the Philadelphia Flyers. Richter pulls away from the goalpost just a half an inch, and that's exactly where he went, off the arm of Richter into the net. The Islanders regain their one-goal lead.
8 seconds after the penalty to Zubov, it started to tick down. Travis Green brings them up to center and dumps it in. Flatley driving in on Leach. Richter out to play it. Held by Green. Centered. Flatley gets choked on. And the Rangers, Alexei Kovalev got it to Messier at center ice. Mark Messier back to Kovalev, who couldn't go anywhere with it. Husky dumped it into center ice. Wilkemoon promptly puts it deep in the Islanders' zone. Molotov to Flatley, and the Islanders are out to center ice. Flatley shoots it in from the Ranger line. Joe Day in after it. Kovalev knocked it away from him, and the Rangers turn it around to the right wing side. Kasparaitis played it to the New York Ranger line. Leach gave it away to Day, to Flatley with Wilkemoon back. Patrick Flatley looking for somebody to jump in. Kasparaitis did, but he was too well covered. Flatley, that is, and Day is backhanded it right back into the Ranger zone. Goals were 45 seconds apart. The one by Amonte, followed by the Thomas power play goal. Herbers and Turgeon assisting on that goal at the 4:50 mark. 2-1 Islanders. One shot from the point, turned aside by Hextall. Karpatsev dumped that away quickly. This is Kasparaitis. Up to Derek King, met from behind. Karpatsev trying to tie him up, but the Islanders get it out of the zone, and Turgeon chases it to center ice. Jay Wells to Amonte, and then to Tikkanen, who dumps it in. Kasparaitis got it to the line. Tikkanen is taken down by Dean Chenault. The Rangers are going to go to the power play. A hooking penalty against Dean Chenault.
There was a broken play. The Islanders were trapped. The Rangers had a clear path to the net. There's the dump to the point. There, Dean Chenault hooks up the Ranger player, pulls him down. You could see that he had a good play to the net before being hooked by Dean Chenault. So penalties now a factor in the hockey game. Something the Islanders do not want to get into is matching power play and power play. Well, their power plays have worked. Both power plays have worked. Not an area that it would be in their best interest. What a goal by Thomas, though. Gee, just enough room from the edge of the arm of Richter to the goal post, and he was able to bounce it off him and put it in.
Now Turgeon battling on the draw. Messier popped it outside the Islander line, and up the ice comes Benoit Hogue. Big slap shot, just missed. I mean, just missed the post to the left of Mike Richter. Now Gartner steps over the Islander line, setting up Messier. His shot went off his stick, and Flatley has dumped it down the ice. Flatley and Hogue up front with Molotov and Vasky killing it off. Adam Graves hanging around at the Islander line. Takes the pass from Messier, but Molotov was there to knock it away. Here's Brian Leach. Molotov forces him to the blue line. Puck stayed in the Islander zone. High up on the far side, it comes loose. Patrick Flatley can't get it out of there. Messier unable to center it as well. Down the board, Zubov waits for it here at the right point. Centered one, tipped, and right into the catching glove of goalie Ron Hextall. 6 6-4. Shots on goal favoring the Islanders, who lead this game by a score of 2-1.
Take another look at that chance by Benoit Hogue from the face-off. Messier there, but that was Turgeon that scooped it out. I'm not sure that Richter doesn't get a piece of it. There was the shot. Hard to tell from that angle, but what a blast. It was 2 inches at the most outside the goalpost.
Now Tikkanen will center for Larmer and Amonte. Lowe is on the left point, I should say. Alexander Karpovtsev here on the right. This is Kevin Lowe following the draw. Takes it back to the net. Casper Wright is trying to knock it away. The puck does come loose. Is centered. Amonte is well covered. It's nudged up ahead. And McGinnis can't get it to a teammate. But the Rangers mishandled it. Larmer made it back into center ice. That's Kevin Lowe. Karpovtsev comes up the right wing boards with a feed here for Amonte and his pocket pick. McGinnis is over the Ranger line. Lets it go, and it just missed as Kevin Lowe dropped down in front of McGinnis. Karpovtsev turning deep in the Ranger zone with a pass to Tikkanen now. They come up 3-on-2. Tikkanen into the Islander zone, kept the play onside. 2-on-1 in front, and they can't make it work as Larmer went to the open side. And the Islanders clear it out and down with 23 seconds left in Chenault's hooking penalty. 2-1 Islanders. Brian Leetch is over the New York Islanders line, feeding Larmer. Centers. What a stop by Hextall off Tikkanen. Back they come. Hogue runs head first into Bookeboom, and the puck ends up at the Ranger blue line for Tony Amonte. One shot on goal for the Rangers with the man advantage. Games are at 6-a-side now. Chenault steps out of the penalty box. Rangers have dumped it in. Hextall leaving the puck for Vladimir Malakoff. Around to the right wing boards to Steve Thomas. Thomas finds King. He tips it around the Ranger defenseman Bookeboom and goes in after it. Eric King pulls up. Steve Thomas digs the puck loose. Right to center, did, but Leetch was standing there. Leetch playing it to the open side of the ice, and Joey Kocur works it through center, not into the Islander zone on a tip from Mike Hudson. But bouncing around at the Islander line, Gary King tries the right side. That's Steve Thomas with King trailing. Thomas can't get totally around Lowe on the initial effort. Now he gets to the end boards in control of the puck. Steve Thomas. Joey Kocur tying him up. Gary King digs it off the board. King to Thomas, trying to come out of the corner. Kocur knocks him down. And the puck is under Thomas long enough for a face-off. From the Nassau Veterans Coliseum, we pause for a local break.
Esa Tikkanen in the center talking to Tony Amonte. On the right side was Mark Messier. This was Brian Leetch. Fed it across. There's the deflection. Good stop by Ron Hextall.
That was the one shot on the power play for the Rangers. And now the Islanders move the puck deeper in the Ranger zone. Kasparaitis got knocked down. Took one of the linesmen off his skates as well.
Darius looking to the referee as if he was asking him about giving a penalty to the Ranger. Didn't work.
Now Mike Keenan is making a change, sending out the Messier line. Messier coming out with Graves and Kovalev. Last 38 meetings in either arena. Here at the Coliseum, the Islanders 25-8-5. Just about equal in the other end. When the Islanders have gone to Madison Square Garden, the difference is one Islander win. 24-9-5, the Rangers on home ice in the last 38. The last 25 overall, the Islanders have won 14, lost 7. There have been 4 ties. The Islanders got the lead. The Rangers tied it. And the Islanders regained the lead. Joe Day just wrestled Kovalev to the ice. No penalty call. And at center ice, Dennis Vaske drives it right back in. But Bookeboom is standing there. Up to it. Kovalev here on the right side. Muscled his way around Malakoff, then couldn't finish the play. Puck loose in the Islander zone. Joe Day gets to it. Slaps it outside the blue line, and at center ice, Brian Leetch tries the left wing. That's Mark Messier, but the play was offside against the Rangers. We're past the midway point of the opening period. You probably know this. There is only one thing better than a New York Islanders win, I'm told, and that's celebrating with an ice cold Budweiser, the king of beers.
Or 2-2. Depending on who got 2 wins and 2 buts.
Oh,
there's only one thing better, it's two. Get a look at Alexei Kovalev. See his contribution so far this season in 22 of the 23 games.
Both teams play again on the weekend here. Rangers go home to face the Capitals tomorrow. Well, the Islanders have the Detroit Red Wings coming in here, same time, same station, tomorrow afternoon on Sports Channel. Steve Larmer plays the puck back inside the Rangers zone, and Zubov chased it. Sergei Zubov dumps it in from his own side of center ice. The Islanders do get to it first. A little miscommunication between Herbers and LeChance, but it's an icing call against the Rangers.
One of the things that the Rangers are exploiting, Jakes, and the Islanders are going to have to talk about it and do something about it. They're sending a player quickly through the middle, cutting across from the boards to the middle of the ice, in between the Islander defensemen, either in front or behind, and 3 times. Once we've seen it work cleanly with a goal by Amade, and twice they've tried it and come close to connecting. There's Mike Keenan's numbers. Regular season games at the Coliseum, 11-8-0 with Chicago. He never lost a game. His team's never lost a game in 4 years here. Or I should say, no, I'm wrong. He was 9-2-0.
Malika setting up Green, didn't get a shot through, and it's Messier bring it up to center ice, but Travis Green was there. Got it right into Richter.
Let me correct myself. I was right the first time. Chicago was 5-0 under Keenan in this building, and overall with Chicago, while he was coach, they were 9 wins, 2 losses in the top.
Puck rides up the stick. Ryan Leach just put it out there, and it ends up deep in the seats. The Blackhawks haven't lost a game in this building since 1984. We have to wait for them to come here. The Islanders and the Rangers have more important fish to fry this Saturday afternoon. Boy, did we get out of Dallas just in time. Did you see that football game on Thanksgiving Day?
I understand they had a little snow, and that's a partially closed-in stadium.
Jim and Louise Botto, section 329. We're in Dallas to see the Islanders, and the Stars stayed around for the football game. And Plum Gloria is a big Islander fan in Franklin Square. The folks were having a good time before the sleet. I can't comment on their health after the snow and sleet hit, but after the Islander game, they were just fine. Zubov taken in, is into the Islander zone. The pass went through a Monte, and then he collides with LeChance. Marty McGinnis tries the left side. Derek King tried to go rink wide. It's picked off by Lowe. Islanders chase it again. It went through Hextall. Larmer with a shot that's kicked out. Centered in front. Turgeon guides it away from Tikkanen. Derek King puts it on the end boards. That's Turgeon to McGinnis to the line. King does get to it now and spots Turgeon. Over the Ranger line with Herbers coming in to join the play. Turgeon puts it in the goal mouth, and it comes loose. Picked up back to the net by McGinnis. Marty McGinnis trying to center it through a lot of bodies. Could not. Back to the play. Derek King took low down, and there's an Islander penalty. They called once they gain control of the puck. That happens now as Hextall stops it. And Derek King goes to the penalty box.
The tripping call on King in the offensive zone. The puck came across on a pass from Marty McGinnis, I believe it was. King, thinking he was going to get trapped in the Rangers' end of the ice, tripped the Ranger forward. There was the play, the rink-wide pass. There's the confusion in front, and then King just pulled the feet out from underneath the defenseman. Richter, you see him heading for the Rangers bench, trying to get the extra forward out. 10-minute misconduct. That's the reason Keith Acton is still in the penalty box. Derek King gives him somebody to talk to.
Messier on this face-off against Benoit Hogue as they line up to the left. Ron Hextall's goal crease. Puck comes outside the Islanders' line. Zubov with it at center ice now. Adam Graves. Messier. Head for Leach. It bounces in the Islanders' zone. Hogue shot it right at the on-rushing Gartner. And Molotov finds an opening and clears it the length of the ice, or tried to. It ends up in the seats behind the penalty box. When the Rangers Rangers were in here for a preseason game. Glenn Healy did play that game. The Islanders won it 4-2, and this guy won himself some friendship of his teammates in another matter.
He did, Jigs, and you'll remember it was in the first period, and a player that's scratched in this hockey game, Phil Bourque, went after Molokov, and Molokov did quite a number on him in a fist fight. And then later on in the hockey game, there was a confrontation around the Islanders' net, and Joey Kocur went after Molokov, and he did a number on Kocur, which not many people can say they've done.
No, I'll say.
Which only says that, you know, you look for then Molokov to have a little more confidence as a player that has not learned the English language but is learning it, feeling more comfortable and maybe more confident. I said, wow, what a lot of ice he's going to get to play with if he continues with that kind of aggressiveness.
Word must have spread quickly. Hasn't been challenged that often, if at all. Rangers, with 1 minute and 19 seconds left in the power play. Broken up. Marty McGinnis dumps the puck into the New York Rangers zone. Back for it is Graves. Markner cuts through in front of the net. Zuboff goes to that side of the ice as well. They left it for the defenseman Brian Leach, the quarterback in the power play. Fires it in from center. Hextall blocks it back to the net. Looks up ice and dumps it out through that area. Hogue chases it into the Rangers zone. Leach has to hustle up. Hogue beat him. And while Hogue unable to center cleanly, however, now Flatley moves it outside the line, and LeChance drops it back, push it out. Again, they force the Rangers down the ice. Richter around to Zuboff. Zuboff. And Chinoff, who's through center ice. Into the Islanders zone. Pulls up, trying to make the play. Shot it right at Turgeon. Now Nemchinov centers, but between is defenseman Lowe and Zuboff.
Good aggressive penalty killing by the Islanders, Jigs, and that errant pass along with several others on a couple of power plays the Islanders or the Rangers have had previous. Missed communications, missed passes.
Now Amonte is into the Islanders zone, met solidly by Dennis Vasquez-Check. Puck bouncing around at the line, Nemchinov with it here. On the end boards, Kovalev blocked it and went onto the mesh behind Hextall, and they'll bring it outside the line for the ensuing faceoff, methinks. And that's the signal from the referee.
Rangers last players to touch the puck as it rolled up onto the back of the net. There is a time when it's in the best interest of the Islanders in this case to take it off the net and fire it down the ice, but that's not one of them.
It might be an idea to jot down today, looking ahead to next season's schedule, that perhaps the Islanders and the Rangers should meet in the opening game of a season some year and just get the season off to a start this way. I mean, the way the Islanders stumbled out of the gate in recent years.
I suppose it can help both teams. Rangers didn't get off to that good a start either, although Glenn Healy did.
This seems to be a tonic each time the Islanders and Rangers get together in Nassau Coliseum. No matter what the final score turns out to be, the tempo, the level of the play reaches a little different level.
Gets the fans into hockey as well.
That blistering shot was offside. 5:34 left in the first period as we check the Modell scoreboard.
It was said that Mike Richter didn't really believe in himself. He talked as though he did last season, but he really didn't. This year, it's reversed. He doesn't talk about it as much, but he's feeling much more confident, and he does believe in himself and his teammates.
All the talk about the Rangers having given up on the wrong goaltender when John Van Beesbrook was moved on to Vancouver, and of course eventually lost in the expansion. Sticks up, some battling going on, and that draws a crowd, doesn't it? Nick Dakota, Mike Hudson, and then everybody arrives except the two goaltenders.
Actually, Keith Acton got into it at the beginning, so.
Woody doing his thing. Smiles. And then some more jostling. Joey Kocur and Nick Dakota. These two linesmen, Mark Beduri and Scott Adams. Another taste of an Islander-Ranger battle. I have only to ask for a note here, and Informed that the Islanders have opened 4 seasons against the Kings and 4 seasons against the Flames, that never opened a season against the New York Rangers. Well, the new season began today, second quarter, 22nd game for the Islanders. Dakota appealing to the referee here, trying to change his mind maybe on a call. Probably won't work. Hudson is going to the box and he turns away. Joey Kocur is going to step in.
Mick Dakota is not. So Kocur the only one so far in the penalty box. Acton for the Islanders.
So the Hudson-Dakota thing didn't draw any penalties, just this one at the 14:30 mark.
High sticking's the call for both of them. That was the 2 that got tangled up. I guess it was after, as you pointed out, Hudson was involved. It's funny that the talk a couple of years ago was that Hudson was going to end up as an Islander.
Yeah. At the time with the Blackhawks, and Mike Keenan apparently wasn't happy with him. Now he is, we're led to believe.
And of course, now you have to wonder, too, is that some of these changes, are they enacted, obviously with Neil Smith involved, but on strong recommendation?
No doubt. Vaske and Malakoff on defense. Hogue up front for the Islanders along with Thomas. It's 4-on-4 hockey, and for the Rangers, Messier and Graves are into forecheck. Graves just broke up a pass. Looks to Messier, and he couldn't hold it. Mark Messier feeds the point. Hookeboom dumps it in front. There's Graves banging it off the boards, but Hogue came back. Met by Graves. Up steps Dennis Vaske. Vaske over center and across the Ranger line. Moves into the corner. Bookeboom slams him on the boards. Vaske maintained his balance, gave the puck to Thomas. Steve Thomas to Turgeon. His shot was blocked by Leach. Messier is met by Thomas. Graves clears it from the zone. LaChance feeds Tom Curvers right back to LaChance. Now to Turgeon, waiting at the Ranger line. Pierre Turgeon shoots. Richter the save. The rebound by McGinnis. It's on the doorstep. Now grabbed and held as Richter ran into a little problem there. Some company arrived with the puck. Stayed right there for him.
Again, the accuracy of the shot of Pierre Turgeon almost fooled Richter. He tried to put it between his feet. Richter did get it, but the rebound he couldn't control. There's the shot. There's the stop and the rebound. Marty McGinnis trying to get to it. He gets checked into the net. See Turgeon trying to get to his own rebound with Leach in pursuit. Watch the puck go straight out in front. Richter recovered beautifully, and the rebound by Marty McGinnis. Richter again making a nice stop. McGinnis ends up in the net. The puck outside the net. Marty would love to see the roles reversed.
Turgeon back at the bench. Travis Green up to take the draw against Tikkanen. So Tikkanen drops the stick first. Backs out. Puts it down. Battles Green on the draw. Up steps Kevin Lowe. Zubov. Zubov went wide on Flatley, but lost the handle on the puck. LaChance and Zubov collide on the boards. In comes Flatley as well. Loose puck at center ice, controlled here by Tikkanen. Twisting and turning in his own zone to reset the play. What a start to the season for Tikkanen. And here he comes through center ice into the Islander zone. Chased to the right side by Curvers. And gets taken off the puck. Steve Larmer is knocked down from behind. Ranger fans yelling about the way he was manhandled by LaChance, and Lowe can't keep the puck inside the blue line. But Lowe gets help, and Zubov came back. Nice forechecking job thrown up by Travis Green of the Islanders. Lowe being bothered here by McGinnis. Chased back deeper in the Ranger zone. All of this at 4-on-4, and now Acton and Kocur are released, so we're at full strength again. The Islanders lead by a score of 2-1. Kasparaitis almost took it away from Tikkanen. Tikkanen gives it away. Turgeon dumps it across the line. Tikkanen got it out of there, got tripped up, however. Play continues. Kovalev into the Islander zone. It slips away right to Hextall, who covers for a face-off. Let's take a look ahead to what's coming up on the first intermission. Get some observations from my side as well. Here's Stan.
Thanks, Jiggs. Well, my guess is going to be Pierre Turgeon. Some interesting stats. Islanders leading in hits 25-22. Faceoffs are tied 7-7. And Joe Day and Adam Graves, the leading hitters on both teams, on each team so far this game. Jiggs, Eddie?
Stan, before we let you go, and since you're wired up down there, the honorary captain of this Islander team this season is your son Simon. How's he doing? Is he here today?
Yeah, he just recovered from a bout of pneumonia, and he's watching the game in the Sports Channel booth. Thanks, Jiggs.
All right, nice to have him out here, and hope he's feeling much better. Kasparaitis in back of the Islander net, up the right wing boards, held in by the Rangers. Nice move. Kovalev looks to finish it off. Oh, and Hudson open in front, but he couldn't bang it by Hextall. Goes puck again. Hudson, backhander. Hextall the save, and there's no further play. Kasparaitis came out of the corner, taking a Ranger to the deck.
Islanders make a big mistake, but it isn't as costly. Hudson with a scoring opportunity. He seemed to hesitate, and that hurt them. Dean Chenault worked his way over. Watch in front of the net. The Islander defensemen get crossed up to their assignments. Hudson turned and fired it, but it was wide of the net. Then he gets another chance here on a backhand shot as he put it up high. Ron Hextall stopped it with his chest, picked it off with his catching glove.
2 minutes and 46 seconds remaining in this opening period. Messier, Amonte, and Graves back out for the Rangers. Face off to Hextall's left. Travis Green against Messier. Draw won by Green, but in steps Graves. Holds the puck here, using the boards to give it to Messier. Green pushing at him. Messier shakes the check. Green right back on him. Messier and Green continue to battle. Messier behind his center. Green stays with him. The puck goes to Flatley, and the Islanders get it out of there. Back to the play. Vasky and Amonte apparently were in the middle of something. And the referee, Monahan, has chased them both toward the penalty boxes.
Good pursuit of Messier by Rick Green. Rick Green? No, he's coaching it. Travis Green, excuse me. Important for the checker in this case, Green. He always keeps himself between Messier and the net. See where he is? There he is chasing him. Messier, number 11. He never once lets Messier get a half a step or get outside. Then Green gets a little help from the captain, Pat Flatley. And back behind in the right side of your screen is the penalties to Amonte and Dennis Vasky.
That's Amonte of the Rangers, good for high sticking. Vasky and Islanders, good for cross-checking.
Vasky for cross-checking, Amonte for high sticking at 17:34 of this opening period. We've had 44 minutes and penalties called. The Islanders are leading this game by a score of 2-1, so it's more 4-on-4 hockey now with Turgeon and King up front, LeChance and Curvers on defense. Tikkanen and Larmer out together for the New York Rangers as the forwards with Leach and Karpatsev on defense. Larmer into the middle, Karpatsev over the line, shoots, Hextall got a stick on that. Karpatsev trying to center again. Steve Larmer gets chased away by King. Larmer to Karpatsev for a drive. Turned aside by Hextall. Turgeon comes off the far boards. Over center with King up to join him now. Turgeon battling Leach. Can't get around the fine Ranger defenseman. The Rangers clear the zone. And chasing it cross ice is Tom Curvers. Taking it up to forecheck now. Curvers to King to Turgeon. Turgeon looks at Zubov. Shoots a long one that tipped the post. The post to the left on Richter.
It's interesting, Jiggs, because Turgeon looked up, hesitated, saw the spot, and then fired it, and almost beat Richter from outside the blue line, and Richter had a good look at it.
Now Benoit Hogue is over the Ranger line. Pulled up on Zubov. Trying to go cross ice. Kasparaitis in deeper now to Thomas. Thomas sets up back of the net. Hogue into the slot. Gets knocked off his skates. Thomas comes out in front. Can't get a shot away. Ryan Leach to Zubov. 50 seconds in the penalties, and the Rangers come to center ice, dumping the puck in. Ron Hextall plays it around the boards. Kasparaitis comes out of the far corner with it. There is Kasparaitis. Dropped it off for Molotov. Up to Hogue, off his stick and wide. Richter to handle it. Hogue drove in. Richter played it to the corner. And this is Kevin Lowe. 27 seconds remaining in those penalties. We're into the last minute of the opening period. Hextall grabbing the shot from Gartner, gave it to Hogue, standing at the blue line here. Now Kevin Lowe Making the play at center ice. Kovalev puts on a skating exhibition and then dumps the puck in.
Skating and puck handling exhibition.
Zubov and Curvers. And while Hogue stepped in, so did Hudson, and now Kovalev from back of the net. Looks to make the play, pulled up on Chenault, gets turned around. Chenault takes him down. There will be a penalty on Dean Chenault. Took a while, then finally up went the arm of the referee, and Chenault goes off for holding.
Good skating and puck handling, some more of it. But Dean Chenault trying to shut down the Rangers in motion. Draws his second penalty of the hockey game. He got a hooking penalty. There, dancing on his feet, is Kovalev. Chenault gets the stick on him, then reaches out. You can see him put his hands out, and as soon as the referee saw him use both hands on him, gives him a penalty. So 14 seconds remain in the first period. Yeah, Rangers on another power play.
Fourth man advantage of the opening period. For the league's #1 power play. Turgeon, McGinnis, Vasky, and Molotov out against Messier, Graves, and Gartner, with Leach and Zubov on the points. Rangers back into their own zone. This is Brian Leach. Slowed up a little by McGinnis, but cross ice. Zubov into the Islanders zone with Messier. There's the pass, and it bounced on Messier. I don't think it mattered anyway. The horn was going to beat him no matter what.
A big mistake by the Islanders, not only getting the penalty the way they did, but then Molotov gambled and almost blew it at the end of the first period. But the Islanders go unscathed for now. Messier heads back to the dressing room. Let's take a quick look here at what happened. The Islanders a man short, the Rangers coming out of their own end. Watch over on the far side as Molotov gambles on racing out to make a check. There, you see the defenseman come out, creating a 2-on-1. The play to Messier, the puck in the air, trying to bat it in. He missed.
And the green light on, indicating the end of the opening period. You see the Islanders filing down toward their dressing room. They got the lead, gave it up, and got it back. After one, it's the Islanders 2, the Rangers 1. Our intermission from the Coliseum right after these words. Referee for today's game, Tom Monahan, just had a long dialogue with Mark Messier and Patrick Flatley. And the two respective captains are back at the benches talking to their coaches. You saw the reaction of Mike Keenan. Patrick Flatley just completing his interpretation and explanation to Al Arbor. There were a lot of penalties in that first period. The Rangers are on a power play for the fourth time as they get ready to drop the puck to begin the second period. Messier in the middle with Graves on the left, Gartner on the right for the Rangers. Flatley and Hogue, the penalty killers up front with Vasky and Molotov on defense. The Rangers, Leach on one side, Zubov on the other is the point men. Hextall in goal for the Islanders. Richter in goal for the Rangers. Messier won the draw, and Graves tapped it back toward Leach. Ryan Leach into the center ice zone. Decides to shoot it in around the boards. Hextall slowed it up a little. Vasky went after it. Gartner was there as well. Now Vasky shoots at the length of the ice. Richter turns it to the boards for Captain Mark Messier. Has to chase it. Got to it. Flatley got to him. Patrick Flatley fires. Sharp angle shot. They score! Short-handed goal for Benoit Hogue.
That play started at the far end of the ice, Jakes. The Islanders trapped. The puck being shot in by the New York Rangers. What a job by Flatley at both ends of the ice. The Rangers tried to shoot the puck in. Flatley grabbed it. This is in the Rangers' end of the ice, and Benoit Hogue laid down a bunt behind Richter. The Islanders have a 2-goal lead. There's the play. It's a pass. There's the tip in. Beautifully executed. But I go back to the Islanders' end of the ice where the puck was shot in by the Rangers, and that's where it started, the aggressive penalty killing.
Still a minute and 9 seconds in this Ranger power play that was just broken up by Marty McGinnis. He's dumped it down. Puts it around the M boards. Kasparaitis couldn't center. Chance picks it up at center. Feeds it on into the New York Rangers zone. Now 52 seconds left in the penalty against Dean Chenault. The Islanders on a shorthanded goal, just their third of the season and only the second given up by the Rangers this year. And it is 3-1. One shot here by Lowe off the pads of Hextall, cleared out by Keith Acton. The only other shorthanded goal against the Rangers was in a loss to Tampa Bay earlier this season. In fact, the last game that the Rangers lost prior to this streak of 14 without a loss. Taken in, long shot turned aside by Hextall, and in 18 seconds, the penalty to Chenault will expire, and the Rangers are going to have to start the balance of the power play deep in their own zone. Richter around the boards, held in by Turgeon. Picked up by Nemchinov for the Rangers. Sergei Nemchinov moved it up ahead. Here's Alexei Kovalev over center ice. On into the Islanders zone. Nice pass. Nemchinov can't finish it. Hextall robbed him. A drive from the point goes high and wide. Aims at full strength as Leach keeps the puck in deep. Kasky took the man. The puck came loose. Nemchinov trying to center. Played it to the corner. Kovalev centers one. Way up in the air. Hextall knocked it down, and Dean Chenault takes a look up ahead. Gave it to King. Up to join the play is Turgeon. One man back. Turgeon shoots. Richter the save. Steve Thomas in after a loose puck. Puts it back in the net. Turgeon had been hung out to dry there. Trying to get away from the check. Nemchinov, or the defenseman rather, Bokaboom, able to make the play, and Leach comes to center and dumps it on into the Islanders zone. 3-1, the Islanders leading the Rangers. Steve Thomas played it to the New York Ranger line. Eddie Olczyk moves it to the right side where Larmer got checked. Hudson dumps it in. Islanders, Ray Ferraro spots Thomas down the right side. King with him, 2-on-1. Thomas shoots. He scores!
See the Islanders jumping on them quickly. Then Raho with his knockout Thomas with his 13th, and the Islanders have a 3-goal lead. Is Glenn Healy coming onto the ice? Yes, he is.
That's it for the moment for Mike Richter in exchange with Glenn Healy. There for Meineke Muffler are Healy's numbers on the season, a 2.50 goals against average. And this will be the 5th time in his career that Glenn Healy will have faced the New York Islander team. Back when he was with Los Angeles, Healy's record, a win, 2 losses, and a tie, a 3.98 goals against average. 181 minutes of play for the Los Angeles Kings against the Islanders back then.
Well, he spoke before the hockey game, Jiggs. He talked about the fact that he was looking forward to playing against the Islanders. For some reasons other than what you would normally think. He just wanted to play in front of the crowd that had helped him so much when he was an Islander.
Travis Green gets the puck into the Ranger zone, is pushed off it there, and a scrap breaks out. Mark Messier and Joe Day, and somebody came in to tip some people over. Isn't this a pretty sight? 3 minutes and 9 seconds into the second period. The Islander goals were 2 minutes and 23 seconds apart. Hogue at the 28-second mark, and then Thomas at 2:51. Richter gives up 4 goals on 13 shots. And it's a 4-1 Islander lead. The linesman, Kaduri and Adams, trying to get people pulled apart. Monahan, the referee, surveying the situation. I said at the outset that even the league's best have difficulty handling these games. It's a tough assignment for these replacement officials this Saturday afternoon. Let's update the Modell scoreboard.
Crowded conditions in the Rangers penalty box, and it's equally as crowded in the Islanders penalty box. You've got Leach, Kovalev, Volkaboom, and Messier for the Rangers. For the Islanders, it's Molokov, Green, Day, and Flatley. Let's take a look, and maybe we can figure out how. Oh, look at the stick work. Messier on Day. 3 times Messier chopped at Joe Day. Joe Day turned around. Good for him. Joe Day says, I don't know who he is. I never played against him. So now...
Adam Graves has left the ice and gone to the Ranger dressing room. He came off the penalty box. Could that be a third man in situation?
The only reason I say that with Messier challenged the youngster, figuring that maybe his past performance chart, his experience in the NHL, his image isn't going to have any repercussions as far as Day is concerned, but he was wrong. If that's what he thought, Joe Day challenged him. From there, we have 8, possibly 9 players involved. 10, I think we're being told now altogether.
Wally Harris is the supervisor of officials at today's game. He said the other night in Dallas that I hope the strike would be over before the Thanksgiving weekend. It hasn't been, obviously. Here come the penalties on this exchange.
All the Rangers, number 11, Mark Messier, 2 minutes for slashing and 5 minutes for fighting. Number 9, Adam Graves, 2 minutes for unsportsmanlike conduct and a game misconduct. Number 23, Jeff Volkaboom, 2 minutes unsportsmanlike conduct. Number 27, Alexei Kovalev, 2 minutes unsportsmanlike conduct. Number 2, Brian Leach, 2 minutes unsportsmanlike conduct. For the Islanders, number 14, Joe Day, 2 minutes for slashing and 5 minutes for fighting. Number 26, Patrick Flatley, 2 minutes unsportsmanlike conduct. Number 37, Dennis Vasky, 2 minutes unsportsmanlike conduct. Number 23, Vladimir Molokov, 2 minutes unsportsmanlike conduct. And number 39, Travis Green, 2 minutes unsportsmanlike conduct.
When in doubt, throw everybody out of the game. The game is underway again. Islanders lead 4-1. Those penalties at the 3:09 mark. Marty McGinnis drops it back to LeChance. Bob Curvers gets it out of the Islander end of the ice. Zubov at center, tries taking it on the right wing. He just dumps it in, and Hextall comes out to play it. Down to the right side to McGinnis. Bounced off him, off Kevin Lowe as well, and a turnaround by Larmer is wide of the net. Zubov unloads from the right point, kicked out by Hextall. Larmer takes the rebound, comes off the far wing, centered one, but it went right to Turgeon, who got checked. King was there to back him up, and the Islanders have cleared it towards center ice. Lowe coming back into his own zone. Turgeon into forecheck. Kevin Lowe off the boards, held in at the line by King. Over to Kasparaitis. Long shot is tipped. Kevin Lowe has it. Lowe plays it away from Kasparaitis, but LeChance had crossed over and dumps it right back into the Ranger end. Islanders 4, Rangers 1. Tony Amonte, who has the only Ranger goal this afternoon, has dumped it in. Kasparaitis around behind the net to Chenault. Trying to lift it up the boards. It didn't go a second time. Nemchinov got it back to the point where King broke up the pass. Jay Wells hustling back into his own zone for the Rangers. Gave it to Greg Gilbert. Checked on the play. Thomas gets knocked off his skates. Nemchinov has the puck knocked away from him. Ferraro unable to regain control. This is Nemchinov floating it on into the Islander end of the ice. Quickly, Gartner in after it. Slapped it right across the goal mouth. Held in by Gilbert. Gartner going back to the net. It came out in front. Chenault is able to clear it for Hogue. To Dean Chenault. Up to Ray Ferraro. Has Thomas coming on the right side. Couldn't thread it cleanly, but now Thomas fires, and that misses. Healy out to scoop it up. Held it long enough to get a face-off. We played 5 minutes of period number 2. Glenn Healy has replaced Mike Richter. Keith Acton tied up in the face-off by Hudson, and the Rangers are out of the zone. Hudson trying to tip it to the right side. Kosar goes in after it. Nothing doing there. Brent Grieve got it to the Ranger line. It's just picked up and shot down into the Islander zone. LeChance and Hudson collide. Hextall played the puck. Mick Vukota couldn't get it out of the zone. Hextall turns it to the far boards. Over goes Koser. Brent Grieve got knocked down by Koser. The puck stays in the Islander zone. Joey Koser turns and shoots. Hit Hudson, who had parked himself in front of Hextall, and the Islanders bring it out of the zone for Acton. Going wide is Vukota. Acton coming in on the right. Chased by Lowe as he went back in the net. Put it right out in front, but Eddie Olchuk is there, and he plays the puck into center. Servers trying to reach around Koser. Ahead down to Vukota. Right side for Grieve. Brent Grieve to Keith Acton. Ran into Kevin Lowe. This is Sergei Zubov. Zubov into center. Across the line. Olchuk had been knocked down, putting the play offside. And from the Nassau Coliseum, let's update your Modell scoreboard.
There's Eddie Olchuk. Not much ice time for Eddie these days. Scratched the first 3 games of the season and has had limited time in this game as well as the previous half dozen.
Now the Rangers playing the puck into the Islander zone following the draw. It's loose back in the net. Kasparaitis had gone to his man, and Amonte got to the puck. Set up Wells at the point. Into Larmer. Schnauf tying him up. Larmer continuing to battle. Schnauf continuing to paw away and try and move the puck. In and out of his skates. Kasparaitis reaches in, rounds the net, and has given it to Pierre Turgeon. Turgeon right side to Derek King. Wells crosses over in front of him. King cuts around and gave it to Turgeon, and the shot hit Wells. Coming out of the corner is McGinnis. Puts it on the end boards. Turgeon and Tikkanen do battle there, trying to regain control. The puck loose. McGinnis steps in around Tikkanen. Gave it to Turgeon. A backhander right across the goal mouth. Tikkanen went after it. Kasparaitis came in for the Islanders. Over goes Turgeon. Wells runs into him, but McGinnis trailing the puck. Got to it. Can't set up Turgeon, who had cut to the front of the net. Out comes Steve Larmer, and he'll dump it in from center ice. The Rangers go for a player change. Hextall trying to take advantage of that. Plays it to the right side, the long distance route from the Ranger bench. Malakoff up off the boards. Off Mike Hudson as well. Stayed in the zone and batted around behind the net by Olchuk. This is Steve Thomas. Long pass to Ray Ferraro. Hogue up with him. Ferraro across the line. Dropped it off for Hogue. Looks for somebody to jump in. He decides to shoot, and it's blocked by Leach. Thomas knocked it away from Leach. Puts it on the end boards for Ferraro. Loose puck as Bukaboom went to the man and now gets to the puck as well. Servers trying to jump in around Koser. Kicked it toward the corner. Bukaboom is knocked down. Here's Hogue. Nice job by Thomas as Hogue rounds the net. Healy there to make the stop. It's fanned in. The goal light on. The Islanders indicating that they've got a 5-1 lead. We'll see how the officials handle it. Healy's trying to talk the referee into a no-goal situation. We may go to the videotape.
I would have to think so, Jigs, but Ray Ferraro, in all fairness, the puck was loose, and he went diving in, jabbing at it. Now he's pointing upstairs for a review. Ray Ferraro talking to me before the game. I was asking him about his sticks. Have you changed them? And he said, I've done everything I can think of, Ed, trying to get something to happen here. Some forechecking by the iron. Look at the hit. Talk about hits doing something for you in the game. That's on Bukaboom. And rounding the net, Benoit Hogue. There's the deflection. There's the loose puck. There's Ray Ferraro digging at it. It just the motion, it looks as though Ferraro knocked it in, but it may have been carried in by his body, which should still be all right. There's the loose puck. There's Ferraro. He got tripped up by the Ranger player as he tried to poke it in. Let's take a look at the point of view up above. The puck will come off a skate of the Ranger player. There it is loose. There's Coach. They're waving it as a no-goal. There's the puck. It's rather late coming in. It may have been that they assumed or they could see Ferraro use his hand or arm to direct the puck into the net. It looked as though it was up under his arm near his elbow before it went across the goal line.
What great dialogue in the hallway today when Healy and Ferraro got together. Nicknames back and forth and some very cutting remarks. But the little guy for the Islanders thought he had it.
There, it's under his right arm. You can see he drags it in. His feet are in. The puck came in almost after Ferraro was in the net.
Well, that's the first shot on goal Glenn Healy has had to contend with. Ended up Going to the video replay, remains Islanders 4, Rangers 1. Travis Green trying to play the puck out of the zone. Couldn't. Zubov just drilled it wide. Here's Kevin Lowe with a shot. That misses the net. Puck bounces off the end boards all the way out through center, and Greg Gilbert hustles back. Former New York Islander came over from Chicago. Plays it down into the New York Islanders zone. Dennis Vasky back on it here. Gave it to Vladimir Molotov. Right side to Flatley, and a two-line pass is called against the Islanders. Thinking back to Greg Gilbert, he is the only player in the game today who have a Stanley Cup ring from one of the teams involved here, and that, of course, is the Islanders, isn't it? Glenn Healy didn't win one here. Neither did Patrick Flatley, and our guys in the truck have reunited. Heels and flats. So was it flats and heels? Flats first, right?
Depends on who you ask. You ask Healy, it's heels and flats. Obviously reversed. You ask Captain Pat Flatley.
And some great stuff with Glenn Healy indicating that if Alexei Kovalev were to learn a couple more words of English, he'd know more than Flatley, and they'd be able to do a show together. It never ends, those two. Kasparaitis chasing a loose puck. Rangers on him. Barry King back to help out on the play. Overled Marty McGinnis. Wells kept it at the line, and Kasparaitis goes to the far boards. There's Kovalev. In a little deeper. Ancient out. Around to McGinnis to the line. Back in wide by Kovalev. That's Barry King. And he plays it outside the blue line. Wells will recover for the Rangers.
Islanders getting a little sloppy, Jigs, in their own end of the ice. You can see they had the puck 3 times, and 3 times they gave it up.
Kovalev just gave it up to Turgeon, standing at the center ice stripe. This is Wells. Looks up the middle with a pass to Tikkanen. Tipped it. Got it right back. Amonte to Kovalev, but he can't penetrate at the Islander line. Now Amonte dumps it in, and Vladimir Molotov gets back to the puck. 10:20, the time remaining in the second period. We're near the midway point of regulation time. Steve Thomas checked in his own zone. Leach to the backhand. Checked by Vasky. A shot here. Handled by Hextall. Down, and it's bang given a scramble. The Rangers get a little closer.
Islanders were getting sloppy. They were giving the puck up easily. Is it Joey Kozer that backhanded the puck behind Hextall? It almost looked as though Hextall had possession for a moment. Good, hard, high shot. There's the rebound. There's one tap. There's 2. And there, Kozer, I believe, coming out from the side of the net. There's the forehand block. Hextall didn't get a hold of it, and Kozer has rammed it in. So the Rangers and their fans have something to cheer about. First goal of the year for Joey Kozer.
Just prior to the 10-minute mark of the second period, 4-2, Islanders lead the Rangers at the Nassau Veterans Memorial Coliseum. Got the chance, feeds Travis Green, who's into the Ranger zone. Lowe took it away from him. Brent Grieve battling for it on the boards. Grieve, number 24 in the Islander uniform. Flatley with a shot. Well, the net is off before it's banged in. The red light on. I don't think there'll be a goal at this end either. There may be another video replay, folks.
I see the referee nodding to one of the Rangers. Now, whether he's agreeing with the Ranger or he's saying, yes, it's in, we're going to have to wait again. I believe one of 2 things. The net was off, or there's an Islander standing in the goal crease, and does that make a difference? Was he pushed in?
Mark Messier is letting the official know what he saw. He's got the penalty box door open and yelling at referee Monahan.
And he's only 130 feet from there.
Yeah.
I got a better look than he does. Come on, Mark. Let's take a look. The Islanders would love to have this one go up on the board. Healy lost sight of it. It came down. It was loose. Now the net is now off, and the puck, is it in? It's not going to count, I guess. Let's take another look. There's the puck coming down behind Healy. Now it's out. Now the net is off. You can see the stick moving. The net was off. The puck went in. Good call, whoever made it. Well, that's the second goal now the Islanders have put in, and they have not been credited for either one, but I believe, in all honesty, neither one should count. So I would say myself, good call by the officials either on the ice or their help. from the replay judge up here.
Yeah, the video goal judge called upon, so twice it's gotten by Glenn Healy and across the goal line, and neither one counts. Turgeon out with McGinnis and King for the Islanders. The Rangers out of the zone. Amante down the left side. Tried to dump it in from the blue line and went to McGinnis. Pierre Turgeon floats it on to the Ranger blue line where Wells was waiting. Gave it away to McGinnis. Offside, the call against the Islanders as we pause for a local break. It's Acton with Dakota and Brent Grieve up front for the Islanders. Dean Chynoweth and Darius Kasparaitis on defense. Kasparaitis with a bouncing puck to contend with. And he gets taken to the boards by Hudson, but still managed to dump it deep in the Ranger zone. Leach from back of the net. To the right side for Kosar. Kosar and Olchuk into the center ice zone. Hudson up ahead as the puck is dumped in. Back goes Chynoweth. Hudson on him. The Rangers put it right in the goal mouth, and Acton was there to dig it out. Then clear it to center ice. Leach puts a move on Dakota. Olchuk into the middle to Leach. Lost it. Leach got it back, centered. Olchuk didn't one-time it. Kosar through a screen, can't get it on. And Acton holds it up for Brent Grieve, and down the ice it goes. Healy out of the net to play it for the New York Rangers. To Jeff Bukaboom. Bukaboom plays it through Hudson. It went through Molotov as well. Oberland driving in here. Hextall plays it up the right wing boards. Spassky onto the Ranger zone where Lowe knocked it out of the air, and it's being called back Ranger to Ranger with 8:27 left in the second period. A look ahead to the intermission and also some observations from ringside. Here's Dan.
Thanks, Jiggs. Well, my guest is going to be Steve Lama, the former Iron Man who has been playing excellent hockey for the New York Rangers. An observation on the Islanders, they seem to click into off after they got the 3-goal lead. When not clearing the puck in their own end, they've been very careless in getting the puck out. They got to improve that. Jiggs?
All right, Stan, still a lot of time remaining in the second period, and of course, in the game. We're only well into the second period here as we watch Tony Amonte center the puck. Dennis Vaske came back on it. Was handled it, and from back of the goal, it's Messier trying to center up. Hextall, it'll come to the blue line for Lowe. In around the boards, Amonte took the man. Messier takes the puck. Green is on him for the Islanders. Messier centered off Vaske. And the Islanders get out as Travis Green got it right back from Joe Day. Green overled flatly. This is Lowe. Knocked off his skates. Gets some help, however. His defense mate, Sergei Zubov, comes to center. His pass off some skates and flatly drives it into the Ranger end. Healy will leave it for Zubov. Left side to Lowe. Goes cross ice. That's Messier. Hogue stepped over on him. Hogue taken down. Ferraro takes the puck. With Don Kermers back to Ferraro. That deflects off the boards. Zubov turns and goes back in a little deeper. Ferraro right on him. Zubov up the left side. Gilbert tipped it smartly to Nemchinov. Quick handling into the Islanders zone. Dropped the puck at the blue line. Kovalen's long shot. He scores! Wow! That had eyes, and it's 4-3 all of a sudden.
Sure what Ron Hextall was thinking about. It must have been a tip shot for him to go down under the circumstances. That's Sergei Nemchinov as he dropped the puck. A shot from the point. It looked like it might have gone through the feet of Hextall. Watch the feet of Hextall. Yes, it was deflected. Nice deflection by the Rangers as it gets between the feet of Hextall. And boy, are they back big time. Back-to-back goals by the Rangers. Joey Kosar. And that deflection just moments ago. Al Arbour takes a timeout. Settle down the troops. They had started to cough the puck up about 5 or 6 minutes ago. They had it several times, couldn't get it out. Kosar got the goal because of it. And there was a tip-in on a pass from the point. There's the pass. I believe that was Kovalev who passed it, and Gilbert tipped it.
Greg Gilbert, who wears number 17 for the Rangers, gets his first goal of the season, as did Kosar just a few moments ago. Nemchinov and Kovalev on the assist. The goal at 12:47, and it's a one-goal hockey game. outside to Nemchinov. Back to Gartner. Broken up. Nemchinov and Lachance go at one another. Nemchinov out of the corner. Bouncing puck comes outside the Ranger zone. Cutting across his Hogue. Goes up at center. Dumps it in. Healy goes out of the net to play it. Rangers try the left side. Gilbert's pass into center ice. Picked off by Darius Kasparaitis. Dumped it in. Healy leaves it for Wells. Big collision back to the Ranger net. Meantime, Gilbert comes down the left side. Gave the puck to Gartner. Mike Gartner, big slap shot, just missed. Gartner with 596 goals. Here's Wells with a shot. Monte goes to the right wing boards. Into the corner. They couldn't get it to Gartner in time. Barry King can't clear it out for the Islanders. King working with Ferraro and Kasparaitis on that side of the ice. They've frozen it against the boards and get a face-off. 6:10 left in the second period as we check the Model scoreboard.
You were wondering if the hitting continued in the hockey game. We'll give you a chance to listen to the hitting that continues in the hockey game. Sometimes you wonder who hit whom.
Greg Gilbert getting his first goal of the season here. Played for the Islanders from 81-82. He went to 88-89 before going to the Chicago Blackhawks. Ian Koser were 2 of 3 Rangers who had played every game but hadn't scored a goal until today. The other guy that we're waiting on now, I guess, is Jay Wells. Turgeon centers. Eric King back into the corner to Turgeon. Trying to kick it around to Monte. In comes King. Digs it loose. Eric King turns back on Leach. Centers to Turgeon. Pulls it back to the net. It rolled away from him. He gets to it again. Turgeon out in front. Shoots. Stick saved by Healy. And he dives out to cover any chance of a loose puck or rebound. And we remind you that you can drive on into your participating Long Island mobile dealer and save $10 on future Islander game tickets. Details at your participating Long Island mobile dealer.
Here, Turgeon working diligently around, trying to open up some ice. Healy with a good stop. After the play, there's some extracurriculars here, and it was Volkaboom hammering away at Turgeon, and that was after Turgeon, the last time they were out, gave Volkaboom a whack across the back of the legs on his way to the bench.
Now, Dean Chenout and Jeff Volkaboom will go to the respective penalty boxes. Game being handled by replacement officials. There was a lot of concern on the part of the Coliseum staff, the Islander staff in particular today, about the Players Association maybe setting up a picket line since there's so many unions involved in the running of this building, and they thought maybe the game would be disrupted or postponed as a result. That didn't happen.
The Players Association was going to...
No, the Officials Association. Did I say players?
Yeah.
Well, there's importance on night as a player. And certainly in this game, too. Travis Green unloads, and that just drifted wide into deflection. Blackley from the corner sets up Molotov off the heel of his stick. A delayed penalty call in effect. Called now as Messier takes the puck. And a rare Islander power play about to unfold.
It's a cross-checking penalty as the Islanders try to get back and get the lead where it was. They're one ahead of the Rangers at 4-3. What a stop by Glenn Healy with his right arm, I believe, off Travis Green. Here the Islanders outworking. Forced Messier to give it up. There's the shot. It hit Healy. More of a puck hitting him than him being able to make the save on it from close in range. And then Molotov misfires the penalty in front of the net for cross-checking. Karpatsev for cross-checking.
So it's the second power play of the game for the New York Islanders. They have King, Thomas, and Turgeon up front. Molotov covering the right point here, along with Kurvers on the far side. Turgeon had the puck knocked away, and it's cleared out by the Rangers. They rule it was knocked down with a high stick, or made contact, I should say, with a high stick. That's the play is called. A great way to reward yourself after the game is with the fresh, pure, natural taste of an ice cold Budweiser. Proud to be your bud. Turgeon facing off with Mark Messier. Messier won the draw. Leach to the right side. Moving up on the play is Kovalev after he played in and around Curvers. Molotov has it for the Islanders. Got it out through center ice. Kevin Lowe mishandled it at the Ranger line. This is Steve Thomas around the end boards. Does he get all the way back to Curvers? No, Messier steps in. Gave it to Lowe. He threads it through center. King and Molotov played it back and forth. Molotov one time for King. Now to Curvers. Tom Curvers spotting King, moving in on the left wing boards. Dragged off his skates. Give away in the Ranger zone. Here's Steve Thomas up the slot. He scores!
How much of it is local knowledge? You saw Travis Green try to beat Healy high a moment ago on the top left side, and the next time it was tried, it's a hat trick for Steve Thomas, his 14th goal of the season, third of the hockey game. King took a dive, Leach tried to clear. What a job by Thomas to grab the puck out of the air, and then he chucked it into the top left-hand corner. Pretty goal, Rangers in possession. Leach coughs it up to Thomas, and he beats his old teammate, Glenn Healy.
Sixth career hat trick for Steve Thomas. He had 5 goals in the games between the Islanders and the Rangers last season. And at 15:40 of this second period has given the Islanders a 5-3 lead.
He was telling me before the game, Jake, he said, boy, he said, I'd love to have 20 goals at the halfway mark around Christmas time. He may get there.
Wouldn't surprise me at all. So the power play clicks for the second time in the game. 2 for 2. Unassisted goal at 15:40. The Islanders lead 5-3. They were up 2-1 at the end of the first period. Had built a 4-1 lead, or the Rangers cut that to 4-3. Jay Wells with a pass that didn't get to Hudson in time. Karpatsev dumps it in. Hextall slowed it up. Eddie Olchuk comes in after it. Couldn't muscle it away from LaChance, and Mick Lakota clears the zone. Up ice comes Brent Grieve. Karpatsev crossed over on him. Following through is Acton. Acton battling Hudson on the end boards. Karpatsev met by Grieve, and the puck popped loose. Jay Wells banks it off the boards. Vasky nudges it up to Keith Acton. Dumps it in around the Ranger defenseman Wells. Healy out to play the puck. Lakota into forecheck. Rangers try to come out on the right wing boards. Long pass at center. Olchuk couldn't pick it up. Molotov for the Islanders to Mick Lakota. Wells runs into him. Karpatsev goes back for a loose puck. Just under 4 minutes remaining. That pass up the middle to Gartner. Choked off by Molotov. On to Thomas. Steve Thomas feeds Travis Green, or Benoit Hogue, excuse me. Hogue cutting to the far side. Couldn't get it to Ferraro as Wells stepped in front of the Ranger goal. Out to Mike Hudson. Kasparaitis takes him off the puck. Hextall to play it. Ferraro put a pick on his man, and Thomas took the puck, gave a long pass to Hogue on left wing. Trailing is Kasparaitis. Feeds Benoit Hogue. Back to Thomas. Oh, and he couldn't make it 4 as he cut in off left wing here. It's got the crowd a buzz again. Oh, pitching in. The puck picked up ahead by Lowe. This is Gartner into the Islanders zone after accepting Greg Gilbert's pass, and the long shot handled routinely by Ron Hextall.
Diggs, you've got to admire Thomas. He plays hard every game, but a moment ago, after all that he's done on this one shift alone, and tired, he struggled all the way back from the from the Rangers end of the ice. Here was an almost 4th goal for Steve Thomas. Pass by Hogue there. What a stop by Healy, or it hit the outside of the net. And from that point, Thomas worked his way all the way back as a back checker. There it is off the outside of the net. So close. Thomas up on the net. Then he got involved in the corner trying to maintain control of the puck. He chased Greg Gilbert all the way down the ice and was his back checker when Hextall throws the puck.
Steve Thomas going for 4. He is also the last Islander player to have 4 goals in a game. Game against New Jersey. Last game of the 91-92 season. The strike interrupted here. Turgeon tests Healy with that bullet. Leach to Tikkanen. 3-on-3 at center ice. Steve Larmer over on right wing. Larmer's centering attempt. Didn't get to Amonte in time, as you saw. And here's Scott LeChance clearing it out. McGinnis at center, right side to Turgeon. Turgeon looks for somebody to jump in. Vaske does, shoots. Healy got enough of that. Turgeon off the end boards, beating McGinnis. King is out in front, well covered. Long pass got away from the far side where Vaske had been standing. The Islanders play it into the zone. The Rangers get it out. Ryan Leach missing Larmer at the Islander line. We'll hear from Steve Larmer as he joins Dan Fischler, part of our upcoming second intermission. Joe Day trying to move the puck out of the zone. Rangers dump it back in. Here's LeChance. Up off the glass, through Kevin Lowe, all the way down the ice. An icing call to be made against the Islanders. 18 minutes and 29 seconds has ticked off in this second period.
Islanders peppering away at Glenn Healy. They regained some of the dominance they had early in the second period. Al Arbour. That timeout was just the thing that the Islanders may have needed, Jake, because since the timeout, the Islanders have regained territorial advantage.
They've outshot the Rangers in this period by 2. Face-off is in the Islander zone as you see Messier line up and win the draw. Kevin Lowe at the left point. Fires one through a screen, went into the opposite corner. That's a Kovalev, checked by Kasparaitis. Rangers nudge it back toward the line. Zubov, check there. A takedown will cost Kasparaitis as he knocked the feet out from under Kovalev. Kasparaitis complaining to the replacement official about the call, but it's going to be against the Islander defenseman for tripping. New York Islanders hockey is being brought to you by Mobile Super Plus, the detergent gasoline.
Take a look at the Islanders trying to get their men in the right positions, and you could see Kasparaitis take the player down, a tripping penalty. So Rangers with 1 minute and 16 seconds remaining in the second period. The Islanders hanging on to a 2-goal lead. They were boasting a 3-goal lead at one time in this second period.
Is the 5th Ranger power play of the afternoon, or is this 6? It is 5. They're 1 for 4 with the man advantage. Late stages of the second period. They went to this period with their 4th power play of the day, and the Islanders scored a shorthanded goal, building a 3-1 lead. Oh, we've come to the 19-minute mark of the second period. The Islanders up 5-3. The Rangers in across the line. Zubov goes to the right wing board. Laid the puck in deeper. Nemchinov to Messier. Looks to Leach. Couldn't get him open. And Hogue just reached in and took the puck away from the Ranger captain and dumps it down the ice.
Boy, and everybody in the building saw that one happen. Messier was looking for a play, looking to see who to pass to. I guess he didn't notice that Hogue was that close to him.
The Rangers come out of the zone. Messier goes cross ice, and McGinnis picked off the pass. Down it goes.
What a game Marty McGinnis has been having, Jake. He's killed penalties so well aggressively, and an even strength has played well.
Now the Rangers come to center. Kovalev in deep on the right wing boards. Pinched into the boards by Curvers. Centered back. Leach from the line. Up high. Hextall's got it. And Nemchinov and Zubov both trying to go to the front of the net on that drive, looking for a rebound or a deflection.
Really what Al Arbour says under these circumstances, but I think you're making a good point, a valid one.
Tikkanen indicating that he was cracked across the hand. Boy, that hurts. Took the left glove off. It's what he's smarting now.
Yeah, what happened was that it was actually the stick coming up. Hogue come up underneath his hands and may have got him where there isn't as much protection.
Eddie Olchuk and Hogue, a false start. And again, a false start. Are they going to let these guys stay here? Yeah, they do. And Hogue lifts it to the line where Leach knocks it down. Long shot, rattles around by Hextall, but he reached back to grab it. Tikkanen and LeChance are ready to square off. In comes Hogue. Hogue with his arm wrapped around Tikkanen. Another Benoit Hogue, isn't it?
Wow, yeah, he's really into this hockey game. As if Scott LeChance or Dennis Vaske couldn't do their own best against Esatikainen. Hogue said, no, I want a piece of him. And remember, it was Hogue, Jigs. On that face-off, I'll tell you, it's a little different the way he did it. Generally, they bring the sticks down on the hands they're facing off against. This way, he brought it up, and that comes up into the palms. Here's the last play at the net. After the Islanders win the face-off, gain control, they give it away to Leach, and it was this shot from the point that gave Hextall a lot of problems for some reason. And there you see Scott LeChance walk Esatikainen away from the side of the net. Even feet of foot, Jigs McDonald, I don't think, could grab a puck and skate in and score.
Not a chance. Couldn't even shoot it from there in that length of time. Neither can these guys.
And that ends a very emotional period. Emotional for all of the fans, the players, everybody here in the building, as the Islanders watch their lead diminish after they had gained a 4-1 lead. The Rangers made it 4-3 before the Islanders had able to regain at least a 2-goal lead.
Blind date.
Brother and sister.
Oh, boy. Nothing like this rivalry in the National Hockey League. Say what you like about Calgary, Edmonton. This one is what it's all about. Zone. We're going to get this third period started. Puck played right down into the Ranger zone, bouncing off Healy's pads. Zubov starts from back of the net. Over the center ice line, slaps it around the boards hard. Leach comes to the right side. The puck kicked off him, picks off Malakov's stick as well, and here's Flatley. Played it behind Acton, and it's loose at center ice. Tony Amonte back into Zubov.
Jigs, what a hit by Baskey on Leach as he went in trying to pinch along the boards.
Here the collision up here, the fans reacting. Gartner gets checked, but Messier is there. Back to Zubov. Zubov waits, looks for something, finds it and shot it wide. Leach at the left point, just as Kasparaitis has sprung, and Leach's cross-ice pass didn't stay in the zone. Zubov shot it off Kasparaitis. The Ranger line gets turned around by Zubov. Here's Nemchinov for the New York Rangers. Into the Islanders zone, tugging at him was McGinnis. Zubov's, Nemchinov's backhander rather, is blocked. He came right out in front, covered by Hextall. A little nonchalant play in the Islander end of the ice.
Yeah, Jigs, again, I was wondering what Ron Hextall was thinking of, the way he played that puck. It went up in the air, hit his defenseman, and then dropped in front of him, rather than get it, corral it, or move it before it got there to the front of the net.
Played 1 minute of this third period. Kasparaitis seemed like he'd done quite a while at the end of that shift before this whistle. Some of our spies indicate that he may have been sprung a little early. So we hit the 19-minute mark, play remaining in the third. He'd been at the Ranger zone, back into his zone. He probably got sprung about 8 seconds early, we're told. Oh. Just want you to know we're right on top of these things. 5-3, the Islanders leading the Rangers here at the Nassau Coliseum. Loose puck down into the Ranger zone. King to Turgeon, up the slot, gave it to McGinnis. Healy the save, and there's no further play. Moves it out towards center ice where Curvers was waiting. It went right to Olchuk, who steps across the blue line. And Olchuk backhands it in front. Nothing doing there. Thomas tied up in the far corner. Comes right in front off Hextall, loose again, Poster backhands it off the side of the net. He had a great opportunity, didn't he? The Islanders end up shooting it down the ice. Lady Luck is smiling. Islanders lead 5-3 as we update your Bodell scoreboard. Travis Green at center. Green picks it up now and dumps it in. Day chases it. Needs the puck for Zubov. Day's forechecking, knocked it loose. Zubov got to it again, is chased to the corner by Day. Slapped up against the boards by Joe Day. Not reacting to that. Low, unloads from the line. Hextall turns it aside, and Scott LeChance can't get it through to Thomas. Mark Messier helps the Islanders by just turning and shooting it back into his own end of the ice.
Wanted to get a complete player change, maybe.
Well, he didn't get off. He's into the Islanders zone. Flatley back to the Ranger line. Messier staying out here in this line with Kovalev and Olchuk. Puck moves. Kovalev into the Islanders zone to Olchuk in the backhand, and the puck just slid away from him. Now he centers it, a deflection. Messier backhander. Hextall. Did he have it? The Rangers are saying it was over the goal line. The red light has not come on.
somewhat in control with his pad, his left pad. Let's take a look. This is what just transpired. There's off the skate. Watch the left pad of Hextall. He goes over toward the goalpost. There, he's got the pad.
Did he juggle it and bring that hand back in over the goal line?
It's inconclusive from there. You could not picture the puck, but let's take a look and see if this actually did get over his outstretched pad and left hand. There's the puck jammed. Can't see it.
Well, that's not going to tell you a whole lot either, but Messier is indicating that the puck was in.
Well, players will do that, Jigs. They'll do that to try and trick the goaltender or the goal judge into putting the light on and maybe try to influence the referee. But the Islanders have had two that weren't counted, and they should not have. We'll see what happens here.
No goal.
No goal after further review, so hard to tell by the numbers. It's hard to tell except you watch the actions of the goaltender. Watch. Here's the backhand shot. It looks as though he's in control. Looks like the puck is out, the hand is in. The goaltenders use that for insurance, and this isn't building a case around anything, but they put their pad out. The hand in front generally, but under the circumstances, it wouldn't be any good to him if his hand was in front because the puck is already around the pad. So they put it in behind, trying to ensure that somebody doesn't jam it in, possibly. But as I pointed out earlier, Messier, it's automatic. Whenever they know that the play's going to be dead anyway, they'll do that just to try and convince everybody that it's a goal. Well, they convinced enough people, and they gave reasonable doubt enough that they did a review anyway.
During this, Ron Hextall had his choice of 3 goal sticks. Brought some off the bench. He selected the twig that he wants. Back to the play. Kovalev is taken down by Vaski. Volokov into the New York Ranger zone. To Flatley, and his backhander grabbed and held, and Flatley runs into Healy. Down he goes, and they come up pawing. Not Healy and Flatley, but a couple of the other guys.
An unavoidable collision, if you will. Healy moving out quickly to grab a hold of the puck. Flatley, after making the play to the net, moving in, looking for a loose puck. A rebound, boom, into his old pal. Delayed reaction. Healy falls over backward. Healy looked like he did it deliberately. Watch here. Whoop, boom. Boom. Do you know why? I'll tell you why. It's because it's a lot easier to fall down and pick yourself up than strain yourself trying to maintain your balance when you may be going to fall anyway.
Fans enjoyed it, and I'm sure the two guys will talk about it next time they get together.
Call me collect after the game.
Yeah. See, still 14 minutes and 11 seconds remaining in this third period. Here, Turgeon on the draw for the Islanders against Sergei Nemchinov. The chance from the line. Shot it wide of the net. Ryan Leach down the boards, out to center ice. Nemchinov, who's over the Islander line. He shoots. Hextall the save. Rebound is there for Nemchinov, but he couldn't center it in time. Now taken and sets up back to the net. Leach out in front. Hextall down to block that. The Islanders get it to the line and outside the line. Quickly, the Rangers tip it right back into the Islanders zone. Got the play onside again. The puck cleared out by the Islanders. 2-on-1. Turgeon to McGinnis. Leach back. Turgeon to McGinnis. Nice stop by Healy. Marty McGinnis jabs it back in the net. And quickly, the Rangers slam it around the boards and down the ice. It has been touched, so there'll be no icing call. Dean Chenault up and out of the zone to Derek King waiting at center ice. Out to Pierre Turgeon. Knocked away by Zubov. Zubov recovers. Lead pass into the Islanders zone. A backhander by Hudson is stopped. On the goal line and cleared by Chenault. To Ferraro, to Thomas. That close for the Rangers. This is Kevin Lowe. To Gartner on left wing. He shoots that missed the net. Hudson pulls it off the boards. Gets stuck there by Kasparaitis. Gartner turned around by Chenault. Oh, with the feed to Ferraro. Thomas down the right side. Ferraro carries the puck. Picks it up again in the Rangers zone, but it's called in an offside. This game coming to you from the Nassau Coliseum. Here's your Model scoreboard. The Rangers have outshot the Islanders 13-5 in this period. Here's another bullet. That missed the mark. Leach at the left point. Golfs it toward the net. LaChance knocked it out of the air. Gets the Islanders to center ice 3-on-2, but can't feed the puck to Thomas in time. On Kerbers banks it off the boards. Carpenter fell. Balance, lost an edge, it appeared, but now has control of the puck from behind the net. Get it to Larmer on right wing. Cross ice pass off Olchuk skates. He shoots. The chance blocked most of that, and Hextall plays it around the boards. Comes to center ice. Sergei Zubov with it here. Kevin Lowe. Lowe holding it, trying to get somebody open. Just floats it down into the Islander zone. There won't be an icing call. The Rangers do get to it. Messier from back of the net. Centers away from Zubov, as it turns out. Larmer
jumped over his stick, Jake. It looked like they were going to complete the play, which would have left them in front of the net with the puck.
Larmer had to pick himself up off the deck as well. Messier bounced one in front. Hextall kicked it out. The rebound doesn't work for Kovalev. Joe Day breaks out. Flatley trying to come up with it. Day off right wing, held it, shot it. Healy makes the stop, and Tikkanen banks it out ahead for Kevin Lowe to Mark Messier. Zubov takes it now into the Islander zone, pushed to the boards by Vasquez-Jack. Molotov with 7 minutes remaining in the third period. Islanders lead 5-3. They've dumped it out of the zone. The Rangers set up again at center. Zubov. Tikkanen flips it down into the Islander zone. Molotov waits for it, and the Rangers go for a play or change. Kovalev went into forecheck. This is Day. Green drives it in from center. Now the Islanders get a chance to make their changes. 6.5 minutes to go in the third period. Nemchinov, cross ice feed to Amante. Over center, on into the Islander zone. He's surrounded. Managed to put the puck in the corner, then off the end boards. Closer is Jack. Marty McGinnis turns back. Trying to get away from Greg Gilbert. Down goes McGinnis. Back on his skates and able to bank the puck off the boards. A lot of pawing, pushing, and shoving. Joey Kocur and Dean Chenoweth being separated by the linesman. Mentioned that we hadn't had a penalty in this third period. We may get our first here as we'll check the Modell scoreboard from the Nassau Coliseum.
Smart play by Dean Chenoweth. He didn't retaliate. Joe Kocur went after him. He held his temper right here. There's Kocur. Now watch Kocur pot him, take a punch at him. The referee, in full view of it, Chenoweth normally would have gone for it, but he didn't. Smart move. Kocur gets a penalty. I'll tell you why, Jigsy, because the Rangers have been all over the Islanders. If I was a Ranger player, I would not panic at this point until the penalty, because they were getting opportunities. The Islanders were making mistakes. Between the commercial here and the penalty, the Islanders just be able to gather themselves together and finish this hockey game.
It'll be their third power play of the afternoon, and they've been perfect. 2 for 2, taking a minute and 19 seconds of power play time to get those 2 goals, but they get forced back into their own zone, and now regroup. King to Turgeon. Molotov and Thomas up with him. Turgeon to the pass to Thomas. Back to Molotov. Got it wide of the net. Turgeon with it behind the goal. Slipped it behind King, and out come the Rangers. Kovalev leading the run. Kovalev into the Islander zone. He's back. Jay Wells had gone in with him, and now Amante is circling and getting out of the Islander zone as the Rangers back in their own area. Best penalty-killing team in the league at the start of today's game, pulling off 88.5%.
Islanders are making a mistake here, Jiggs. They're just kind of letting up as if they wanted to kill off the 2 minutes of power play time.
Sitting on this lead, but now they banked it off the boards. Thomas touched it at center, races into the Rangers zone. Looks for Turgeon, who comes late. The pass through Derek King, who came down the left side, and quickly the Rangers are back up ice. Nemchinov into the Islander zone. Carpets up with a shot that missed the net. Steve Thomas runs into the boards, lost control of the puck. Nemchinov can't get it to Gartner. Gartner knocked Thomas off balance. Meantime, LaChance comes through center over the New York Ranger line. LaChance dropped it back. Ferraro gets to it at the left point. Leads it around the end boards. Healy turns it up the wing. Here's Ray Ferraro. In deeper to McGinnis. McGinnis comes out of the corner, dropped it to Ferraro. Back to the blue line to LaChance. Over to Vasquez. Fires. That missed the net. Missed the referee, too, as it came off the boards. McGinnis. Double teamed here, but he got it in deeper to Ferraro. Centers it in front. Thomas almost had, or Hogue, excuse me, was parked there. Almost tapped it off for the Islanders. Vasquez at the point. To LaChance. 2 seconds in the power play. LaChance can't get it through Carpentson. The team's at full strength. Koser, 2-on-1 with Kekkonen. Vaski drops back. Koser moves in. Hextall the save. Now Hogue comes up scuffling with Larmer. Ferraro is there as well as this all takes place in front of the New York Islanders goal with 4 minutes remaining in the third period. Got the game started today. The opening goal at the 1:25 mark. Kekkonen set up Amonte on a power play goal to tie it. That was well back there as you rewind the tape. Eddie Olczyk puts on a move at the Islander line. Dropped the puck for Hudson, and his shot was deflected wide. Steve Thomas clears the zone. Thomas had his helmet popped off, courtesy of Jay Wells. That's Bookeboom back on the Ranger defense. Through center ice comes Joe Koser across the Islander line. Can't get through the defense. Koser and LeChance go to the corner. Puck fed back by Hudson, then shot high and wide by Wells. Hogue slaps it off the Ranger defenseman. Bookeboom. It comes right out in front. Now loose on the right wing for Steve Thomas. Thomas, Ferraro, and Hogue into center ice. Thomas dumps it in and dropped right in front of Healy. Bookeboom to make the play here. Missed Wells. Vaski goes back, and the Rangers complete a player change. And it's Vaski. Vladimir Malakoff. Malakoff around to Vaski. King, he's cleared it into the center ice zone. 2.5 minutes remaining in the third period. Evan Lowe able to get Gilbert open on the far side. Good job defensively by Marty McGinnis, and again by McGinnis to Turgeon. Nice move on Lowe. Comes in off the right side. Slips it to King. Forehand backhand. Score!
If I was an Islander fan, I'd have been sitting on my hands. I'd have been worried the way the Rangers were taking it to the Islanders. But beautiful work by Marty McGinnis again, Jigs. He's done an outstanding job in this hockey game as he has for several games. That's him loosening the puck up. The Islanders' Derek King helps him out. And look at the move here by Turgeon as he holds his balance from a check. King on the backhand, fake twice, and then put it through Healy's legs. That about does it. 2 minutes and 17 seconds. The Islanders can't lay back, but they did. One good play by Marty McGinnis in the center ice area sprung King loose.
Well, unless the Rangers can get 3 to tie it and send it to overtime in the final 2 minutes, the streak will go on, and they won't get another chance to break it here at the Nassau Coliseum until Saturday, March 5th, 1994.
And as you pointed out, there's several streaks that the Rangers will see end. A 4-game winning streak, 14 unbeaten streak, a 7-game road winning streak.
They're going to get the benefit of a power play. Kekkonen puts the puck up into the seats. Clock stopped with 1 minute and 37 seconds left in regulation time. And whoa, sticks come up here. Vaski being challenged, pushed into the boards. Some ugliness. Spills over again. Now they've stuck to the basics of the game for the most part this third period. There were some things going on that
Eddie Olczyk, Jigs, hammering the face of Dennis Vaski. If I was Vaski, I would think that that's quite a compliment because he deserves it. He's played a heck of a hockey game again. Young defenseman for the Islanders. A lot of scouts around talking about the play of Dennis Vaski over the last few weeks.
I suppose the speculation being that the Islanders have depth in that area if they're to make a deal that it may involve a defenseman. Turgeon and McGinnis assisting on Derek King's 10th goal of the season at 17:43. Pretty much turning out the lights. The Islanders with a 6-3 lead, but now penalties being called here as Olczyk and Vaski have gone to their respective dressing rooms. And Joe Day is already in the penalty box. That was the initial penalty. Portion of this capacity crowd on their way to the exits. All it would need would be one quick Ranger power play goal and they'd be back in the seats in a hurry, for most of them.
Well, they won't let them back into the Coliseum once they reach the parking lot.
I just said exits. They're still waiting. They're around the monitors down by the hot dogs.
Number 14, Joe Day, 2 minutes for holding. And number 37, Dennis Vaski, 2 minutes for roughing. Time of the penalties, 18-23.
Olchuk and Baskey for roughing, Day for holding. Rangers now on their 6th power play of the game, and Keith Acton, the Islander bench, yelling at the officials. Chronicled that for you last year in some of our stories. We'll see how they react tomorrow when Detroit comes in. Karpovtsev to Kovalev. Tikkanen out in front of the net, puts up a screen. Hextall knocks the puck down, pulls it back in. Look where Tikkanen ends up. He had the chance. Hextall. Kovalev there as well.
That's an area where a player can take advantage of another player. In this case, Tikkanen thought he was going to be able to hammer away at Scott LaChance as he fell together with him down on the ice, and Tikkanen was on top. But Scott LaChance very quickly just slithered out underneath him and stood up as if Tikkanen was hammering away at air. And that's AIR, not...
Yeah, gotcha.
He doesn't recognize Air Ontario.
Couple of things in the air. Messier, Kovalev, excuse me. Tikkanen to the left. Messier won the draw. Karpovtsev. Mark Messier. Karpovtsev fires from the point, picked up by Hextall. Messier centers it in front. They score! Ryan Leach comes in on the power play, and it's 6-4.
Pretty passing play. At the point you thought that Messier was going to fire the puck, he pulled it back and waited a half second till Brian Leach gained a better spot. From the face-off, it was won by Messier. Messier in control. There's the shot originally. Here's the rebound. Messier didn't shoot it. He held it, passed it to Leach, who had the open side of the net. And it's 6-4. The Rangers close within 2 with 1 minute and 15 seconds remaining in the hockey game.
You know who's off the hook in this game as far as the loss? Starting goaltender Mike Richter. That's right. 5th goal has gone by Glenn Healy. Difference in the game at 6-4. And we're down to 1 minute and 7 seconds. Forechecking job thrown up by Turgeon. Knocking the puck away from Messier. Final minute of the 3rd period. Leach at center ice, found Messier on the right side. Glenn Healy looking to the bench, hasn't been pulled from there yet for the extra attacker as Messier battled Kasparaitis for the puck. Ryan Leach has it for the Rangers. Leach turning at the blue line, fires one, blocked. Tikkanen battling for it, so was Leach, and the Islanders come up with it. Up ice goes Turgeon, trying to get back. Kovalev, Turgeon to Kasparaitis, checked at the last second, and Healy dives on the puck to bring him out a whistle.
Close call again at the Islanders' end of the ice. Good stop by Ron Hextall. The rebound. Coolly, the Islanders grab a hold of it and work it out of their own end of the ice. Almost a breakaway. Turgeon with a lot of ice time. There's the shot by Leach, stopped by Hextall. Here's the loose puck. Marty McGuinness in. There's the play by King to Turgeon. He tries to leave it out for Kasparaitis on a backhand pass. He was only able to direct it to the front of the net.
Now 31.1 of a second left in this game. Travis Green won the draw. Scott LaChance dumps it in, and here's Zubov. Okay, Zubov flatly moved over to knock it away from him. And Genov into the center ice zone with a pass that's behind Gartner. He reached back for it, comes in on Hextall, forced back to the net, off comes the net. Play is allowed to continue till now, and the whistle sounds. Face-off coming in the Islanders zone with 11.4 of a second left.
Scott LaChance moving backwards. Could have been thinking, woo, watch Gardner. He's quick behind the net. He lost his balance, fell into the net. Did he do it deliberately? Only he knows, but here's a good move by Mike Gardner. Whoop, there goes the net. Scott LaChance. Little help for his goaltender.
Kasparaitis out on defense now. Along with Vladimir Molotov. Flatley, Hogue, and Green up front for the Islanders. On the draw, the puck went went right to Ron Hextall. Kasparaitis with it back in the net. And the final 7 seconds ticking off. Islander fans applauding their team. Big effort here today, defeating the New York Rangers, who are leading the Atlantic Division. 6-4 is the final, and an Islander streak is developing. The Ranger streak may be over. This Islander team has gone 5 without a loss.
A lot of surprises for everybody. The players, the fans, and all of the media. The way this game was conducted, a happy group. A team effort by the Islanders. Big win over the New York Rangers. A confidence booster. What a game for Steve Thomas. Offensively, defensively, you have to look for players like Vaske, Scott LaChance coming up for the Islanders, doing a good job.
They'll get to play again tomorrow when the Detroit Red Wings come in here. The Rangers go home to face Washington, and the final numbers. From the Coliseum, 6-4 Islanders. And we'll be back to recap it right after these words. It's the Islanders over the Rangers, 6-4 here at the Nassau Coliseum. So it is now 12 losses and 3 ties in the last 15 visits here for the Rangers. You all know about that. Did you know that Steve Thomas had a hat trick today? If you didn't, he's about to tell you as he joins Stan Fischler.
Thanks, Jigs. From day one, Steve Thomas has been a leader on the Islanders, and today he led by example. A magnificent game, and obviously a Ranger-Islander game, a classic. Just tell me your feelings about the game.
Well, you know, even the night before the game, there's going to be a whole lot of intensity going on the ice. And there was tonight, but I don't think we disappointed any of our fans tonight. We came out ready to play, and we played well for 60 minutes. But the bottom line was they weren't going to take 2 points from us today.
We're going to take a look at the first goal that you scored, and I want you to give me a lead through it.
Well, it was deep in the corner, and I just figured there was a lot of room, so I just came out and shot it, and I caught him short side high.
Now, wait a minute. When you say a lot of room, are you talking about
a
lot of room on the short side or a lot of room to come out?
There was a lot of room to come out. The defenseman wasn't right close to me, so I had a little skating room, so I thought I'd come out with the puck, and nothing developed as far as someone else being open, so I just took the shot, and it went in.
Okay, but why the short side? Did you pick the short side for a reason, or was
no,
you just shot?
Shoot.
You just shot?
Every time I get a goal, it's usually, most of the time, I just shoot.
Ruining a good story. I mean, Jigs, Eddie, and I were figuring you wanted that little spot. Tell me this about the club. You were critical at the beginning of the season when the team was not doing well. What turned it around for this Islander club?
Well, we had to realize that it took 20 guys working at 100% all the time, and we were only getting efforts from 7, 8 guys. We weren't having a full team effort, and maybe a few guys' confidence were a little low. Maybe the guys had to do a little more conditioning, which they have done, and we're on all cylinders. We're running on all cylinders right now, and we're pretty happy with our efforts from everybody.
Steve, before a game like this, do you get a feel that you're going to be on today? I mean, did you have an idea that you're going to be good for 2 or 3 goals?
Not really. The last 2 days I'd taken off practice. I was bothered by a sore groin, but I think those 2 days off really helped me, and hopefully Al can maybe think about that next little while, give the guys a few more days off.
Very strange game in the fact that there were so many